Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Hello, I break the studio in a grand total of like 5 seconds. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the winners bracket semi-final number 2. You have Alliance going up against No Diggity. Oh, I mean, they escaped from that name, and they will be playing in the lower bracket. They didn't escape from that.
They did not.
Yeah, like
I guess coaching Alliance didn't benefit Synderen that much.
You would actually, like, you would think Alliance would be scared to death of it, and say, hey, let's not let our coach, who knows all of our secrets and the way we work and worked with us so tightly together in Manila, play against us in a place where we could potentially be eliminated. But hey, they may play again. Yep, there's still hope for that down the road. For now, we're going to see who's going to be playing up against Alliance in the winners bracket. We actually are casting the next series and the last series of today as well. Next, which will be the losers match. So without any further ado, and much ado about nothing, we jump ourselves over to the draft. So Team AF and Finem, who have been putting waves everywhere, doing a lot better than the Greek economy, going up against Fantastic.Five, the only hope left for the CIS scene after Virtus.Pro and Team Empire were brutally knocked out yesterday in their matches where they lost both of them. Their fate was decided by themselves, and they managed to avoid the 5-way tie by losing both of their last matches.
Yeah, they looked pretty sloppy, actually. I felt like toward the end of the day, it looked like a pretty different team than what we've been used to seeing. They even went for like the Morphling pick. I mean, that was just like yesterday, and it just, yeah, we've been talking about it.
I saw you scratching your head during that game. Yeah. You're just like, what? What? Like, hey, we got a Timber Saw, right? Everything should work out because we got a Timber Saw, right?
Yeah. Well, but like you said, they kind of just, they put the fate in their own hands, and it ended up not working out for them.
Yeah, it wasn't great for them, but still, they managed to get themselves to the playoffs, and that's what counts. Like, they lost their game up against Team Secret, tried something different, tried something unusual, and it just didn't work for them. So we'll see how it goes in this game. Finem will be on Dire side with an early Darkseer SD, while Fantastic.Five, they're opening up with Oracle and Death Prophet.
Yeah.
Haven't seen. I actually have not cast a game yet where Oracle has been first phase pickup. But I can understand you wanting to have a saving grace with Death Prophet, but normally that's been like a Dazzle, not an Oracle.
Fantastic.Five is like one of the few teams that are still really enjoying the Oracle. They tend to have pretty much always a saving support, either like a Wisp, a Winter Wyvern, an Oracle, something along those lines. And in this game, the Oracle fits obviously because, you know, the Darkseer counter in a way, you can purge off the Ion Shell. But lately, we've just been seeing Darkseers not really give a crap. They don't even go to the lane. They just get an Iron Town in jungle. So
I love it. I'll see you at level 4.5, bitches.
It's actually exactly that. It's pretty hysterical, but it works out really well. And the Oracle is one of those heroes that he needs to just kind of sit in the lane. He's very static. He needs his levels to get up to really be effective. So it's interesting. The more interesting thing for me was just the Shadow Demon. I'm still trying to realize what they're trying to like go for with here. Maybe they are setting up for something later on in the future, but he can be.
Was it Ad Finem that was doing the Lesh? There was SD Lesh combos. Yeah, just
I don't believe so. No, it doesn't look like it was.
Because the other thing SD's been comboing with is the Terrorblade, but they banned it in the first 2, so that doesn't make as much sense.
Yeah, Secret ran Shadow Demon a bunch too, but
yeah,
and then even Fantastic.
So did Alliance. Alliance did for a while as well. But it was always in combination with Terrorblade.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like, Soulcatcher is very good versus Death Prophet. So I can kind of like see that. Maybe stacking multiple camps for your Darkseer as well with Shadow Poison. Still, either way, this hero is gaining much more popularity. It seems like Disruptor is kind of like lingering a bit off, and people are trying out new heroes, going for different supports. Fantastic.Five, no shocker there. The Madara Slark, absolutely banned out. The Juggernaut, it's also just another safe carry that they don't want to be dealing with.
Yeah, it seems to be one of the most safe when I say safe laners, as in like there's nothing that can really go wrong when you're on a Juggernaut. He was always picked up because he was the perfect thing to deal with Phoenix, who was completely dropped off in the European qualifiers.
He's a god. It's like
Yeah.
there's like 2 teams that are picking him, and I think it's actually won most of the games that's been played here, but people are just not really prioritizing it as heavily. Either way,
it's just become that, hey, Phoenix was always great. Why was Phoenix always great? Because Fly made it work.
Yeah.
Like the amount of damage you had, the survivability that came from it was absolutely massive. So, yeah.
I completely lost my entire train of thought. Thanks, Dakota.
Thanks, Dakota.
Thanks, Dakota, man.
He wanted to slip himself in. And I'm watching this stream right now, they'll be like, oh, we didn't have to watch this anyway, we just watched the main stream, right?
Yep.
No, here we give you hype casting.
Yeah.
Then again, Mort was doing that yesterday on the main
He
stream.
was. He was casting the whole game.
Yeah,
was
I
sitting there,
know.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I was like, Greg, change the channel. Why are we watching the actual cast? He's like, dude, that's the couch. That's fine.
yeah, I thought the same thing as well. I tuned in back at the hotel. I'm like, wait, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Mort takes every opportunity he is given.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Fantastic.Five, a faceless void. You know, I always get iffy when I see this kind of combination, like a faceless void and a death prophet together, because I worry that the damage, like the synergy is there once the spirits are able to connect into the heroes and inside the chronosphere. But I always look for that burst damage, like an old school like faceless void Skywrath kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
one of those.
Like I chrono and then burst damage. I find a kill, or you get Queen of Pain, someone like that that's just able to like you instantly blast them so faceless void can pick them off.
I think perhaps they're just like looking at it as, you know, the Shadow Demon support isn't really that great. It's sure Shadow Poison is decent in its own in Void, but overall it's not a disable, so Void is able to just easily be able to time walk whenever possible. And there's not really that many. And this is actually exactly the disables that we're talking about. But it's also a lot of the offlaners are banned right now, so they're probably like, oh man, we don't want to be stuck with something we're not too comfortable with. Might as well pick up the Void here. Now they actually go for an Earth Spirit as well.
This has to feel a little bit weird as well for Team Finem. Like you're going up against an Oracle, you don't want to run heavy burst damage because like you could just blow it all and then it has no effect whatsoever. But you need it to go up against a faceless void, or else you can't kill him.
Yeah,
right?
you need the burst, you need the disable, and it's also like Lion with Darkseer in general it's just great synergy. And Lion versus Death Prophet can go really well if you find a position of the Oracle. Like the Shadow Demon can either disrupt the Oracle, the Lion can go in and get the disable. And now this is something that pretty much only Finem is running is the Puck for Thug.
Have they had much success with it?
I think they won one game, but I think they actually lost another game that they picked it up. So no, they actually won both. So they had a 90-minute game versus VP that they won with the Puck. That was the anti-mage game.
So you're saying they have a 100% win rate with Puck?
They're like the only team that actually just picked Puck as well.
Great sample size.
100% win rate Puck.
Shout out
Clearly best hero.
Yeah, obviously.
It's more silence. It's a good hero that lanes versus Death Prophet, and it's safe. You know, people are always a little bit worried, especially when we've been seeing the Death Prophet picked up. It's pretty much a staple that people pick up the Earth Spirit later on just for the laning phase. So Puck is going to be able to evade those ganks quite easily. And now Finem lines up their team with a nice wombo combo setup from the Sven, comboing up with the Darkseer and another form of disable to deal with the Void.
They also have someone who's finally able to take care of Ancients. No one from Finem actually had any of that. Like Fantastic.Five also doesn't really have that themselves. And I'm interested to see like how they put their last laner in. Like if it's a Void off laner, if we actually run a core Void, or does Illidan get something else?
I would probably think that's offlane. Illidan is more of he plays his style heroes, his like comfort ones, like CKs and stuff. This is definitely not a CK game, but I like this Finem spend pick as well, just because obviously like the Warcry, the bonus armor into the Death Prophet is also something that people overlook from time to time. But I think a good point, like you mentioned, was clearing the Ancients, and he's also now that's their tower hitter. Finem mostly has a lineup where they take a big team fight. And they win the fight, but they're not going to be taking objectives. The Sven gives them that objective kind of taker.
Yeah, because Puck is not a physical damager. Puck is I can control an area. Like, at least you can see the Earth Spirit coming, and that's kind of like a big weakness as well. Oh, wow, I actually pick a Timber into a Puck. Puck's pretty damn good at controlling up a Timbersaw.
Yeah, they've got a good amount of disable. They have Soul Catcher to buff up the damage versus the Timbersaw as well. It's a very interesting lineup. It is actually Illidan Void, so it's a mid. Wait, so it's an offlane Timbersaw. We haven't really seen that too much actually here. Maybe they're gonna try to emphasize a lot with the Air Spirit to force experience from Timber.
Is it Vanguard Radiance time?
I don't.
For Void?
I guess it. He has to go for some type of variable, but this.
He does. He needs to build up. I don't even have to say he's got to go for raw damage. This is one of the few Void games where you're almost happy with the Timber Saw and the Death Prophet and what they bring.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by the pick. They were going for a very just all-in kind of lineup. They have a lot of damage amongst like the Timber Saw and Death Prophet, obviously when they have the ultimates up on the Death Prophet, but they have to like really win their lanes hard, and then if
you know what time it is,
they can't farm Ancients. They don't really have a guaranteed frontliner because Timber Saw is an offlaner, and he's gonna struggle. He's absolutely going to struggle in that offlane. So I'm a little bit curious as to
select the number of deaths.
Lineup.
I'm gonna go 56.
So
I have confidence that this will be a brawler of a game.
Finem usually crushes the CIS teams, right? That's like the general rule for Finem. So
but this CIS team is very, very strong. So I assume it's going to go for a while. Number of ancient camps stacked by 30. Okay, now that's a lot harder.
11 to 15 probably, right? That's a little bit more.
By 30 with his Ven on the field as well. I suppose both sides aren't doing it. Yeah, both sides aren't doing it, so maybe not so much. Hello, Yol, going after Spartan. Yol was out here on a warning mission. He'll just have to walk back. Thank you very much for the pause. Gives us more time to do this. Play with the highest total magical or pure damage done to heroes.
By 10.
By 10 minutes. I actually would look towards the Death Prophet.
Puck or Death Prophet, yeah, because they're the the mid laners. They're going to be beating at each other. They're going to be using their bottle charges and spamming each other out. So it's more than likely going to be one of them. Too.
I'm going to say BZZ.
I'll go Thug.
Okay,
to change it up a bit.
How long will the game be?
I have a knack. I'm just letting you know right now. I casted four or five out of the 8 games that I casted yesterday were 60+ minutes. So
I am on 60+ minutes.
All right.
I believe that this will be a brawler game that will last longer than 60 minutes.
I'll go 44 to 60.
The belief is real. The belief is most definitely real. So I don't care if the panel's not going to agree with us. Obviously they're going to be wrong. How a full mind's better than 2.
Yep. And we do have the wards coming out from both teams. Nice top ward from Finem. What I've been watching the Timber Saw's movements, and then Darkseer just placed a nice safe bottom ward to watch the rotations from F5. And of course a lane ward from Fantastic.Five in their safe lane.
Before we go any further, and I'm sorry to the guys who are going to be watching, we're going to change some settings really quickly because for some reason Valve keeps resetting all this stuff. So you're about to completely freak out as I do this. Actually, camera speed is low, but that can piss off because it's blocking the beautiful logo of AF. But
I have that too.
Yeah, it will automatically turn the network settings on whenever you restart Dota. There's no real reason that it should do that, but it does it anyway. Hey, that's how you win. That's how you win, Spirit Siphon. That's how you win your predictions, boys and girls. BZZ will try and zone Thug out of this lane. While Yol is on a very... he at least dropped down his obs, but... he's having a big wander around. Is he just always playing distraction?
I feel like he is, because did you see the 2 stones he placed earlier? He just put 2 stones as like a taunt in the river. He's just like, eat that. They don't even do anything, but you know what?
They just, I wish to build a rock garden with a path.
Yeah. And yeah, we do see Yol making that rotation to the top lane, like we were mentioning during the draft. Timber Saw struggles in the off lane to find experience, but if he gets a little bit of assistance from Earth Spirit, he can actually get just a decent amount.
Oh, Thug, every time he uses this orb, BZZ just turns on the Siphon and forces him back underneath his tier 1 tower. And there's no other choice, the puck has to run away.
Thug's doing quite well in the CS department though, 4 and 3 to the 2 and 1 on the Death Prophet.
Skylark's having a hard time. We were expecting this to happen anyway. Like, he's up against an Oracle. Like, every time he wants to Iron Shell or he Iron Shells a creep, then you just, like, you freaking Fortune against the lane, and then, like, against the Darkseer himself at one point.
I'm pretty surprised that he didn't just do the Iron Talon jungle. I guess he wanted to just contest that off lane to try to just keep the support there, but he can farm a lot faster, and he's not really pressuring the void by any means currently with his the plays that he's doing.
And as you said during the draft, like RMN's not going to leave the lane anyway. Like the only thing he's going to stop is RMN being able to easily get levels and pull.
Exactly.
But you're doing this while sacrificing the farm on your mech builder. Yeah. So now you're delaying the mech for the entire AF lineup, which seems to be a lot more like focused on the team fight itself. And they're going to need the mech for that. They're going to need the survivability because F5 is just so damn tanky.
Yeah, they are. Especially once they get the chrono timing up in top lane. Yol actually getting gone on. They block him from the roll, and he is dead.
Oh, nice first blood. So there goes your Earth Spirit. Distraction is one thing. Killing him is quite a good thing for AF.
Yeah, and it's a very big thing because they're tri-laning, so they're not getting the most experience out of the lane, obviously, even though they're pulling. Tri-lanes do suffer a bit just because of the sharing nature of it, but getting that kill gives them a bunch, and also Pasha is not getting anything, really. He's got level 2 at least, but not getting any real farm and not any real experience other than that.
Well, it's like, what else do you ask the Timber Sword? You was like, hey, Timber, can you go into the jungle with Iron Talon and catch up on the levels?
Hey.
Like, he can't do that kind of stuff. That's the reason why we don't see offlane Timber that much.
Moon's done it. Moon's been trying it. You just choke point jungle with the Iron Talon, you get reactive armor. It's pretty awful, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Okay. I need to go back and look at that, because I'm assuming he didn't do it willingly. It's like, well, we got no real great offlaners left. Okay, we need to get this.
I think he's done it like once maybe at an official game, but I've seen him do it in pubs quite often, so it's something he obviously wants to try out and prep, but either way, it's not the best jungler. And we do see Pasha trying it anyway with the level 1 Timber Chin, and he's jungling up a Wild King camp.
Well, joy for him. No reason to choke point when there's only one left.
Yep.
How's Skylark still doing? So he's found 4.5 levels in 4 minutes. It's not bad. The only thing I'm concerned about is his rate of CS, but he's got the same amount of CS as you got from BZZ.
Yeah, he's actually doing quite well. He's pressured he didn't really pressure the offlane much, but he forced experience, and then he did one jungle camp, which got him, finished up his soul ring, and now he's doing just fine against an Oracle lane as a Darkseer.
It's kind of surprising. I'd expect Illidan to have, I suppose he's already got 14 denies in the lane, so that's not too bad for him. But with both like Illidan's skill as well as RMN's ability to remove Iron Shell, it's surprising he's got that much CS up his sleeve.
Yeah, and it does look like Illidan might have heard you, and looks like he could go for that Vanguard Radiance build. He does have the Ring of Health and Stout Shield.
I'm fairly certain he's hearing the ghost of Waga past.
Yeah.
Shout out to Waga, who wasn't here this time around.
Yeah, we missed him.
Yeah,
he's busy, right?
He's having girl time.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that.
He's been ignoring his girlfriend too much.
Yeah, that's okay.
So he needs to go and spend time with her.
Unacceptable. First smoke of the game coming out. Finem makes the rotation, and oh, Fantastic.Five actually kind of read that. They scanned behind the tier 1 tower mid, but not where the gank is coming from.
That's because they were trying to smoke themselves and loop around Spartan. Can he reach him? BTZ actually turns around to get disrupted, but AF have no intention of pushing this any further.
There's actually no way they can kill the Death Prophet if the Oracle's near. He just kind of puts Fate's Edict on him, and all their damage is magical. From the Lion, the Shadow Demon, and the Puck in these stages of the game, it's all magical.
I'm waiting for Timber as well now. Like when you rotate those supports off, Timber just has a better time. Actually got up in the face of the Sven, took a Storm Bolt, but 2 points up in reactive armor and a PMS. The Sven actually helps the Timber to regenerate up, and Pasha really needs to find this CS.
Yeah, but level 4, almost level 5 on the Offlame Timber at 6 minutes. Not too shabby.
Madara, he gets Centaur stomped as well as Ursa clapped.
Man, and do you see what the Shadow Demon has?
Oh, they're coming. Disruption. God's Strength's going to trigger now. The Storm Bolt. Pasha tries to chain away, but now this is on cooldown. He's got 5-6 charges available, however, so he has enough mana to actually chain again. But he'll just walk back behind the tower, salve up, and then go back into the lane.
Yeah. He ends up being...
Actually, who cares about salve when you got 10 charges up in reactive armor? Okay, maybe he still cares about salve.
Yeah, and if you took a glance, like I was mentioning, into the Dire jungle, actually, Shadow Demon is doing what I was talking about with the Shadow Poison. So he is triple stacking. He's doing the 44-second or 45-second timing Shadow Poison on the medium camp into the double Shadow Poison on the other two. looks like this one he actually might not get all 3.
Well, there's a way to completely destroy the ancient stacking thing. Ancients haven't been stacked at all, but when you've got these mana camps stacked, the injection of money coming into this event is going to be huge.
Yeah, and it's easier too. You don't have to blow God Strength to clear these camps. You stay full HP. You're not really in an obvious place either. They're gonna expect you to be like, oh, where's Sven? He might just be actually going toward the Ancients, but it's kind of, I mean, a little bit obvious that he's in the jungle. But yep,
Yeah.
Lion gets a free lane now though, gets free experience 1v1 versus the Timbersaw, but it does open up Pasha to get some much needed farm and levels.
I kind of want to see also how maybe next time prioritizes his skill build. Just the 1 point up in mana drain I kind of like, because it's screwing around with Pasha having his escape mechanism. As long as maybe next time doesn't spam his abilities too much, like the 6 charges won't be enough for Pasha. Like it might get him close up to 1 Timber Chain, but he'll never be able to initiate on the Lion. So the Lion will have free farm, you'll look for the Blink Dagger, and you'll look for the quick level 6, which is the other perk about sending this event into the jungle so early on.
Yeah, and I'm really happy to see Madara go for the Echo Saber build over the Armlet. Every time I see the Armlet build lately, after the Dominator, it's super lackluster. You don't feel like you're actually doing that much damage. Every time I see the Echo Saber, it's like, okay, that's a Sven. You know, he just double hit somebody and basically kills him just with that alone. So I like the item build that he's going for here, the decision making by Madara.
He's just shy of the mana for a Storm Bolt. The bottom lane, Illidan as well as Aramen. Now going to start the creep skipping with Yol beating into the tier 1 tower. So AF, they're still fine to let this go. They're not ready to fight yet. So even if the tier 1 tower drops, okay, Illidan's forcing the issue, but Spartan, a great counter to the Faceless Void Chronosphere, just defensively imprisons, and now with the Dream Call, Illidan's already used his Time Walk. He'll take the stun. There's no other control factor ready to control up Illidan, especially when Aramen's sitting right behind him. And Yol, if he wants to, he can attempt a boulder, but there's still 3 heroes there for AF. And in fact, his boulder attempt will be to get away if he needs it.
Yeah, they chased Pasha top as well, but not able to get the kill on him either. God Strength was used previously before that. And yeah, he's going to be finishing up his Echo Saber really soon in the jungle with Tread's Dominator at almost a 10-minute mark, so very good for him. Thug almost finished up with that Veil in the mid lane for the puck. Pretty much the same thing he does every game. He doesn't really opt to rush that Blink too often. But yeah, you saw in that bottom gank, the Oracle pick actually working out very well so far. The Fate's Edict is really damn good versus all of the side of Finem early on.
Yeah, the only thing that we've had a concern with is just the fact that both Earth Spirit as well as Oracle cannot stop the stacking. Like if there was an Alchemist playing this mid lane as well, it would be a complete disaster for them, just because AF would get so far ahead. And if we look at the golden experience, well, it cracked up to about 1700 until that bottom push in the tower went down. But overall, AF are moving ahead in experience too. They're encroaching more on 3k.
Yeah, that's just, you know, the natural thing that's going to happen when your Sven goes jungle and you have a Lion farming in the safe lane.
We were incorrect. The most amount of damage done was actually done by a Darkseer.
Okay, because he just sat in the lane. We were kind of assuming that he'd go straight to the jungle though.
Yeah. But just means the Iron Shell damage which Illidan took by standing in the lane was quite large.
Yep. They've got their level 6 finished up on the Lion for Finem. They've got the level 6 finished up on the Oracle for Fantastic.Five, so...
Yol. Disruption on him, but Dara's fine with this one. He's still got the end of his God Strength. It's a good kick from Yol, but it's only going to take 3 hits, and there she is. Madara gets himself a kill, as well as now finishing off the Ancients.
Top lane. Oh, nice stun there from him. Maybe next time. Pasha's trying to go on the aggressive on him.
There's a finger of death available. He's just leaving. He's just leaving before he dies. Maybe not so.
And that's the 1-1-4 build too, so it's not even like the heavy damage burst build. He's just going for the survivability one. But Madara cleans up the entire Ancient stack. That's one of them. And yeah, he's getting quite large already.
Yeah, this event's in the perfect spot. 2.5k in front of the Faceless Void, who's still working forward to, what is he working towards? He's got this Sage's Mask on him.
Maybe just going for an Echo Saber?
Yeah, that was in my mind, but is that really what you're searching for as a Faceless Void?
He'll be very tanky. He's gonna have like, if once he gets the Echo Saber, he'll have close to like, what, 1700 HP with Strength Treads on. So, he'll be very tanky for sure. And if you noticed as well, top lane.
Well, they find a target, jump in, Chrono, Ashy gets a Thug as well. They really want to reach Thug. The follow-through kick from the Earth Spirit, going to control him. Then when the Spirit Cypher, Thug dropping down quickly, and he will in fact fall. While all that was going on, the Timber Sword dies almost next to the tier 1 tower on the top lane. But BZZ holding on to the Exorcism. If he wants to, he can trigger this and make sure this tier 1... Yeah, he is going to. He's going to make sure this tier 1 tower is toast.
Yep, nice combo there from Fantastic.Five, lining up the Chrono on 2 heroes. Nice 2-man silence by BZZ. Then in follow-up, 2-man silence by Earth Spirit. However, I was going to point out that Shadow Demon is not going for max poison. He's going for the full-out max Soul Catcher build. So Sven with an Echo Saber plus Soul Catcher.
Oh, Yol's dead. Madara's going to close the distance. Okay, maybe not. Fortune's Zen's going to kick in, and you've got Earth Spirit. He needs to create some space. There it is. And he actually... No, he's still going to die.
Yeah. Took way too much physical damage. But yeah, Soul Catcher with all this. Max Soul Catcher with a Sven with Echo Saber. That sounds pretty ridiculous. He can actually probably burst someone down instantly. Madara getting on.
Actually looking like, who do they want to go on? You got 3 players from AF in the tree line. They're the better targets right now for Fantastic.Five.
Too over aggressive by them there. They get a ward down at least. Hopefully it doesn't get countered. But yeah, stepping up that far into the side of Fantastic.Five is just a little bit.
They also got split up.
Aggressive.
Like Madara ended up having to fall back at that point. It wasn't AF moving as a full squad. It's gonna be different now that he's got the Blink Dagger. Like, this is a 13-minute event with 9k net worth, Echo Saber, the Helm of the Dom, plus having the Blink Dagger. It's a lot to work with.
Yeah, and Illidan is gonna be going for that Echo Saber. He finishes up his Oblivion Staff. Things are kind of taking a little bit of a small change up. Now we do see the Fantastic.Five being the ones to make the first move into the enemy jungle.
Y'all seeing Thug's movement, which means he can actually get that initial kick, follow up with the silence, need more damage to kill him off. Now the phase shift as well as orbs available. So Thug just jumps himself away with the Dream Coil. He makes sure that Pasha and Y'all will not be chasing him.
Yep, and they get a good trade out of this. They're going to be able to trade for the bottom tower, but we do have ports coming in. And
Chrono's up. Chrono is up. Be very careful. He's looking for the jump. They want that Sven down. He's worth the most. That's a 4-kill streak right there, which Illidan will take almost 500 extra gold going his way. They do lose the tier 1 tower on bottom lane. It was properly destroyed by the Darkseer.
Feels like Finem is having a little bit of maybe some miscommunication, just some lack of just lack of synergy between them, because I just feel like they're kind of like split up all over the map instead of being together. It's like 2 people in one lane, 2 people in another lane, one person kind of like running around on his own in the jungle, rather than what you're seeing from Fantastic.Five, where they're doing these coordinated like 2-3-man ganks in the proper positioning. And we do see actually BZZ goes for the Hood build, because like we were emphasizing, Finem's lineup is very heavy magical bursts at this moment in time, but he has a Fate's Edict on his team, so it's a little bit curious to see him go for that as his first item.
Yeah, it's just like full survivability, unless... is it actually one of these moments where you leave it as a casual Hood, or is it worthwhile building into the full pipe?
He can be greedy and just keep it as a Hood. He doesn't really care about the rest of his teammates. This is a for him item. And Hood is super valuable. Alright, as I say that, he buys the headdress. Looks like he's going for pipe.
Caster cursed. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked him. We should have waited and seen.
No. I think it's really interesting. I think it's a really big investment of money for him. And we've talked about it so much, how Death Prophet lacks a lot of different aspects in the hero. You want to have your Yules, you want to have like your plate mail, you need a little bit of HP as well. So that could actually bite him in the ass a bit, going for that heavy commitment onto a pipe.
We'll see if it does. Now, Y'all almost getting the pick off. That Finger of Death, however, picks him off. Madara very quick on that God Strength. They start with a Purge on Pass. You can easily tip a chain back up to the high ground and use the Chakra to zone out. You've got Illidan jumping forward. They really want Madara with BZZ, the top spirit side, but it's not enough. Not when you get 3-man back wall. They have to retreat back out again. Fortune Zen's able to hold him in position a little bit longer. There's that TP out from Spartan. It's not going to be successful inside the tree line. The rest of AF are back towards their towers, so they will be fine for now.
Yep, having a lot more teamwork though from Fantastic.Five, it seems still. They have 3 tier 1s taken, and they're just taking as a nice big unit.
Oh, nice jump. Illidan hits the Chrono perfectly. They need that follow-up stun to buy space, but it just doesn't come fast enough. The Chakram was burning through the puck. And, well, this is now going to be a tier 2 tower as well. There's no Exorcism, so F5 will probably not force the issue any harder. Not with also AF respawning in just a bit, and we're only 16 minutes in. We have to remember this.
And pipe is finished.
Yeah.
And the more surprising thing to me is actually Pasha's farm and his levels. He's level 11 on that off-lane Timber with almost 6k net worth, and that does obviously is attributed to the 4 towers that they've gained and just how Fantastic.Five has been playing more like a team than at Finem.
I would also say like AF don't have as many things to work as a team. You look at their lineup, you're expecting like you got the Blink Dagger over on this Sven, so at least his jump in's there now, but you're putting Sven into harm's way to try and find the initiations, and it's ending up getting caught inside of a chrono and then picked off himself. The Puck going with the early Veil doesn't have a blink. Same thing for the Lion. Lion doesn't have that great initiation with Hex as well. So I kind of feel like AF don't have the proper tempo controllers, and the one initiation they do have from their support, which is the Disruption, actually allows F5 to position and then compete against it. And most of the time, you're even more worried that you have to use that as a defensive thing against Illidan's Chronosphere.
Yeah, and the big thing that you pointed out, I was going to comment on too, is that at Finem, you know, Thug going for that Veil first, he doesn't have the Blink Dagger to get into the back lines to disrupt the supports. So Death Prophet's going to have free reign just to kind of run in the front and not really care because he knows he's going to have that save opportunity from his team. Yep. And oh man, BZZ's actually going to pick up an Arcane Rune here, and he's very close to his Veil of Discord. So Veil, Pipe, very early game items, so I can see what he's trying to do with these items just to give his team a good start, a nice lead at the beginning of the game.
The Bloodstone at 18 minutes as well comes in for Pasha. AF
crazy.
If they're gonna get back in, like right now, like the disadvantage isn't that big. Like it's just under 1k experience, it's 4k net worth. Yes, F5 are starting to get more and more items up and running, but we still have to remember you got one fat ass Sven, and once he gets that BKB. As long as he can avoid the Chronosphere, he's still going to be very happy. He'll still be able to compete up against the F5 lineup.
Yeah, and they do have the Puck Blink Dagger now, and I'm worried. A little thing also I'm worried for at Finem is that the supports are so concentrated on like dewarding and placing wards and everything, is that they're actually not scaling in terms of money value. I just saw, I think it was 7 or 8 sentries actually placed on their side of the map trying to deward the aggression from Fantastic.Five, and you can see it's hindering the Shadow Demon and the Lion. The Lion had the safe lane for a couple minutes, and he is naked. He has Tranquil Boots and a Windlace, when sometimes you see the Blink Dagger already finished up a lot. Like,
well, normally you don't fight at all until that Blink Dagger is done. Like, you protect your Lion so he can do that.
Yeah.
Like, you stay close farming by, obviously, but you give him that space, but it hasn't happened. And now F5, they smoke up, they look for a fight, fresh item over on the Faceless Void. Diffusal Blade is here for him.
So not that Radiance, but
he's finding his damage in other ways.
Yeah, double hitting with the Diffusal. Diffusal gives great stats overall, and it's able to purge off the Hex from the Lion, and I guess the Silence off of himself. If the Puck gets a Silence on him, he can purge it off and be able to use his abilities.
Good loop around. There's your jump. They only find Spartan, but then again, they find Spartan. They try and beat the crap out of him. Faceless Void. The disruption on him doesn't create enough space for the SD to live, but he does create space for the rest of his team to back up. And this is actually, I like this from Madara. Instantly moves to the top lane, tries to add pressure in there, and then with that pressure off from the top lane, F5, they may think twice about doing this, going in for Roshan. I was actually wondering if they were probably going to commit to it. But because Madara is still not attacking the tower, actually you're probably still happy with the trade-off anyway. A tier 2 for Roshan.
Yeah, no, definitely. We were talking about how they needed to have a good early game and everything, and now this is the point where we're hitting kind of like the mid game, you could say, and it's looking very good for
they coming
Fantastic.Five. I still almost say Roxas just because I BZZ.
Yeah. Hey man, I was saying Empire when I read BZZ. Jump in from Thug. He gets time locked as well. Gonna jump out. The Chronosphere's down there. The Aegis Immortal snatched by the Sven. He'll be locked in the Chrono at the back into the wall. Can you get some cleave here from Madara? He needs the opening, and there it is. BZZ and Illidan. They line themselves up. The Magnetize as well, looking for the control from F5. They need to get back in control of this fight, but they can't do it. Madara helps to kill off 3. The FD Disruption is setting up for the 4th, and they even get the stun on pass before the Timber Chain can get him back out again. F5, they went in for Roshan, and AF reply in style.
Madara, God. He doesn't even die. He almost died with the Aegis, but he gets his BKB off. The Chronosphere was trying to grab the Puck and to secure the Roche, but it
seemed like a fraction of a second too late.
Yeah, I want to go back and see it, because that looked like it was literally like 0.1 or 0.2 seconds too late, but Madara jumping in, seizing that opportunity. I can't believe he gets the Aegis and survives the whole time.
That is the dream if you're a Sven, and now
We did the curse again, Toby.
what curse? What curse? I was back in this
Fantastic.Five.
Sven.
The game. They need to get this rush. Bam! Blows up right in their face.
Oh,
So I guess we're not the only ones getting those lag spikes, huh?
maybe not. As SDTC's out.
Yeah, Madara does DC out. However, he has a crit now picked up, and he's got his level 16 in a second. So
Obviously, that much level of epic play, a computer cannot handle it.
that was sick though.
That was you want to have like one of those like the things Zona Cinema does, like the beautiful moments in massive slow motion with high definition of the exact timing of that chronosphere to the pickup. Oh, the fact that he got it too, like he didn't even need it.
Yeah.
They couldn't even kill him. He's still holding on to that Aegis the Immortal, which means now AF are in a position where, hey, yeah, not all the big ultimates are up at the moment, but Dream Call's a low enough cooldown. You don't need the Darkseer wall. You just go and push more into Fantastic.Five's face.
Yeah,
You,
and
you got a license to kill.
it was just like it was great teamwork from everyone on Finem too. The way they like wrapped around and everything, they all positioned themselves properly in that fight. Of course, it's a very clustered area and it's very beneficial for Puck and Darkseer, especially. But still, they positioned themselves properly, and yeah, getting the Aegis, he didn't even have to burn it. I was worried for him for a second because he blew God Strength as he went in, and it looked like he was gonna drop. But
Yeah.
nope, the Darkseer vacuum pretty much messes up all the initiation and everything or the counter initiation that Fantastic.Five had. And
What a time for a Darkseer to
timing.
also have a blink dagger before the fight begins.
Yep.
Like that's like we were talking about just before the fight did begin. Like the fact that AF didn't have any way to really set the tempo of the fight. They didn't set the terms of it. They needed to have the repositioning. They need to have the blink daggers on the Puck and the Darkseer to keep up with the Sven. And it made up for the lack of what the Lion had too. Which is still jack all, but now
he's
he
got
has
1,000 more gold.
Yeah,
than
now he's
before.
sitting on 1,300 gold.
Yeah.
You don't care if it's just Tranquils and a magic wand. He's now looking, also having a blink dagger. And F5, the Timbersaw is now not free to move around wherever he wants to. And the Faceless Void needs to do more damage than what his items really offer.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Madara got the last hit as well, right? It wasn't snatched. He got the Aegis.
No, it said snatched.
It did say snatch?
It
Okay,
did
okay.
say snatched. So the last hit did belong to F5. And then he snatched it. Yeah, the combat log should probably show it.
Oh yeah, we have those.
Yeah,
Attacker. Well, I just refresh it and take a look at the whole the general thing. Whatever. But yeah, and if you click on Thug, he actually is doing this build that I think he's one of the few ones that maybe entrepreneured it a bit, but I know other people have done it before, but not every single time. He does this every single game, maxing out his orb or his phase shift before even leveling up to level 2 Dream Coil, just to get that utility from the phase shift with the blink dagger nice and early on.
Oh, welcome back, Sven. We can keep this game going now. As we're 22 minutes in, the swing is high in the graphs. But it's not over yet. We're casting a game with Fog, so this game still has another good 40 minutes left in it.
Oh, easily. Like I told you, man, 60 minutes plus is my specialty.
At F5, if they're going to get control of this game back now, they have to... Like, I want to say they're going to find space for this Timbersaw to do some work. Like, to actually build up on his items. Because he's now going to go in for the Eul Scepter as the next one, which makes, obviously, like, good sense. But having moments like this where Pasha... You can see Spartan's hands going up looking for the disruption as the Timber Chain was starting. There was a little bit of follow-up from maybe next
Roshan
time.
is killed by Sven.
It was?
Roshan is killed by Sven. Sven hits Roshan with Stormhammer for 46 damage and gets the last hit.
Bullshit, really?
Dude, right here, man. Combat log.
Okay, why the hell? I'm fairly certain I read snatched on the screen.
I
But if
thought,
that
I thought
happens-
I'd seen him get the kill, so because he got a big influx in money. That was actually really fun.
Wow, okay, well he takes it too. Brilliant. With the Stormhammer for how much? 47?
46 damage. Stormhammer
46.
Gets the last
40
hit.
bloody 6. Okay,
That's actually quite funny. Now,
that's a legit thing.
at Finem, all grouped up. Now we're seeing their teamwork. Much better now. They had a little bit of a shaky start, but it looks like now they're starting to realize the strength and power of their lineup and grouping up together and making sure that they don't get caught out in those silly positions that they were previously. Illidan bottles up a DD, but his build is gonna be pretty weak versus the Sven as the game kind of goes on. He's locked in this...
That's
he's
what
at
surprised he didn't
magical
go for the
damage.
Radiance. Like,
Yeah.
like, cause the Sven, yeah, he's gonna have his BKB, sure, but Like, instead of being forced into something like a Monkey King bar, to be really screwing around with the Blink Daggers during the fights, like, that kind of jazz. Like, I would have loved to have seen the Waga build with the Radiance.
Yeah, like, right now he's
great dire
really...
scan, too. They just saw the exact movement of F5.
that was really beautiful. But his damage is like all magical right now. Has the double hit sure, which gives him a little bit of burst, but the Diffusal Mana Burn is magical. The Time Lock is magical damage as well. So when Sven has BKB up, he's just gonna kind of get tickled. And we do have Finem going for this smoke. See if they find an opportunity.
Are they gonna bait? They're gonna bait with his Ven Illusions. But already F5 have left. Like, they don't want anything to do with this. Illidan's going to be appearing on bottom lane in just a second. And up on top lane is Pasha. And you're okay with this. As probably AF's big weak point, their split push is ass. Like, once Pasha's able to pick up his BTs to go with that Eul Scepter, he can just keep doing the split push. Now, Illidan, this is not what he can do. Like, the Hex is there, the silence, the stuns, the fingers, the death. Very, very quick, very, very powerful.
Level 4 Soul Catcher. Everything gets amplified up quite a lot.
You actually wonder, like, hey, why did you ever need a Slaughter when you had an SD?
Yeah, Faceless Void. Lion hits Faceless Void with Finger of Death for 870 damage there. Illusory Orb did 412 damage. It's because with the Veil and the Soul Catcher, it just gets double amplified. So some cool stuff. I love Shadow Demon just because of the interaction with Soul Catcher.
Push on the onto the bottom tier 2 tower. Very early God Strength coming out from Madara. The kicks, the Chakrams flying, but this is the reason why. They find Pasha, they team it up with that Dominated Centaur Stomp. The Vac Wall caused a little bit of confusion, but will it be enough? Yol almost had one swing from Madara was enough to kill him, but then a follow-up kick back up to the high ground. It is still 2 heroes on the sidelines. The initial one from the bottom lane gank being the Void, and now also the Timbersaw being picked up. But God Strength wears off, the TP's coming back, Illidan starts with a Chronosphere. They want to again focus on this Ven, but where's the follow-up? Where's the support? Spartan just goes a defensive disruption, allowing Madara to blink himself away. Same thing for Thug. Diffusal Blade was used by Illidan, but it doesn't do any kind of damage, so Thug's able to blink himself up. Now they look for any kind of time lock. Diffusal on both heroes. The jump in from Yol turns on with the Magnetize, but the Dream Coil's there, and the double stun is perfect for maybe next time. BZZ with that Exorcism. Can he actually do enough damage with the help of Illidan? The answer is probably going to be yes. Again, Sven being the primary target, while Lion picked up from the backlines. Madara, Pasha is here, Timber chaining through, Skylark trying to run himself away from this one, but AF, they overstayed their welcome, and now it's F5's turn to level the scoreboard at 12-12.
Yep, pretty much exactly what you said. Overstayed their welcome, but they did force Fantastic.Five to use all their ultimates. Either way, dying with 4 heroes is definitely not what you want. Aegis went down as well just before that engagement happened. They couldn't really escape safely, so they decided, you know, we might as well just turn and fight, and it ends up not being good for them at all. But now when they're all up, they do have a bit of a timing window, just like for like 30 seconds or so, maybe even 20 seconds while the Chronosphere's down, and then about 80 seconds or 70 seconds while the Exorcism's still on cooldown.
How to gain reactive armor charges over on Pasha, tank the tower, and then Spartan coming in a little bit too close. The disruption keeps Illidan out. He's the one that's looking for the kill, and with the extra time lock, Spartan's going to go down. Got way too close for a tower he never intended to defend.
Yeah, a little bit of a mispositioning there from him.
At the same time, Puck was playing around in the mid lane. Doesn't really have like a kill kind of style. Like it's not an Arise Puck. We're not looking at a Dagon over on this Puck to go with the Veil of Discord. And instead, it looks like he's just going for a straight out disable.
Yeah, just more lockdown. It's very good with your Sven. You know, you don't need to be the damage dealer when you have that in your lineup, and especially because the Sven's so massive. He's got Daedalus now finished up already. And yeah, the game is still pretty even though. You know, looking at the net worth chart, it's dipping back and forth a bit, just especially from that last 2 engagements. And the Lion actually opted to go for Aether Lens instead of going for Blink. I feel like that might not be the best choice in this game. I feel like the Blink Dagger actually would do a lot more work because they have the combo with the Darkseer. And
especially when he's trying to keep up with the rest of his team too.
Yeah, and especially versus like an Oracle who already has a lens too. You want to be able to get into that back line and disable the opportunity of him doing False Promise on the Death Prophet.
Once he gets both, he'll be fine. But
Yeah.
that kind of relies on AF having another good fight or a lot of good space for maybe next time to actually find that amount of money.
Yeah, like Aether Lens can work, but he has to have perfect positioning. Blink Dagger lets you be a little bit lazy with your positioning, and it's an easier form of execution.
Oh, Roshan's up in just a minute. And then AF can slip themselves over, but both teams looks like they're posturing, ready to fight.
Wow, RMN has a full mech too on this Oracle. What did he just picked that up, I think.
He picked it up like a minute ago.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I just clicked him, I swear he didn't have that.
Yeah, it was only a short time ago.
Yeah. So that's going to be really big, especially once he gets the Guardian Greaves up, then the puck silence is going to be negligible to him, because he's just going to remove it right away.
Chronosphere comes off, but no! They're not real! Both of them aren't real! Bug's going to get the Dream Coil, and they already have to help Illidan to get out of this one, but Earthbird gets wiped on the back line, and they back him in! Madara couldn't get the perfect save until now they line up for him! Vicar of Death killing off Illidan, and Madara go ham stun, make a sandwich of F5, Pasha, he's in trouble too, silenced up, nowhere to go but down, ultra kill for Madara, and the Greeks be coming.
Crunch! That was just... Yeah, he pretty much just mowed everybody down. Poor Illidan. Oh, this time it did work. You know, What? What the hell was that? New value 7? I did 7 stacks Ancients. That was bizarre. Anyway. Really unfortunate for Illidan though, like throwing that Chrono out, but this time Adfin's bait does work. They tried to do it in that middle lane with the disruption to bring out the Sven illusions. Of course, Fantastic.Five retreated at that point, but this time Illidan doesn't expect it. Exorcism was blown, Chronosphere was blown now, and Adfinem clears up a nice melee racks, and they clear a full 5-man team wipe for Madara.
And this time they don't overstay their welcome. They back out after taking the racks. They know they're not going to get anything else. The tier 2 towers are still up in the mid as well as the top. So there's no reason to overstay. Think about Roshan, prepare for this.
Yeah, and now Sven, Moonshard, is he gonna consume it? No, I guess he's just gonna hang on to it for now. Dominator doesn't really give too much of a bonus in comparison to that, just having the Moonshard actually in your inventory. Plus, having it in your inventory does give you that extra little bit of night vision, which people kind of just forget about that item.
Madara's going for another kill. Pasha is a long way out. He has to start BTing now before they find him in the trees. Spartan, I'm assuming Poison Scout, not going to do it. Also, big props to this Observer Ward. It just times out now,
yeah.
But this ward allowed AF to know exactly what they were up against. Their warding throughout the entire Radiant jungle is perfect, and Pasha, he came back in, Illidan's ready to leap with Chronosphere, and now actually gets the Chrono, catching maybe next time as well as the BKB Sven. He jumps the back line, he wants to remove the Lion's burst damage, but he's unable to do so in time with a kick flies through, even catching Bug on the back line, and now this is the big fight for F5. They have the damage, maybe next time Pasha will take care of him. It's 3 gone, they're looking for more, but then again the damage from Madara is just still unrivaled now by F5. Illidan will have the space. He'll time walk himself up through the tree line as Madara has to keep chasing. Pasha wants to go back in for more, but can he do it? Right now, Skylark is trying to solo a Faceless Void. Pasha has to keep him as a bit of a filter. And the jump into the tree line. Chakra and Fate goes through, but already Darkseer has managed to TP himself away. A 3-for-3 trade-off is the end of the day.
Woo! Madara with the plays though. Instantly, even though he gets caught in the Chronosphere and everything, he recognizes the team fight, he looks around. You could tell that was a team fight when he thought where to go and what he wanted to do. He walks around for a moment, kind of looked like he was confused, but he was trying to identify where the Oracle's positioning was. Sees him in the river, jumps on him instantly, takes him out right away in the beginning of the fight. Then he makes the move onto the Death Prophet. Incredibly good decision making there by Madara, and they get 3 kills out of it. Unfortunately, they lose the puck and the other 2 heroes, but still, it's a nice win for them just because getting that Sven beefier and beefier is exactly what they want to do with their draft.
But you are getting to this point, like, it's hard to say it's a bad thing when you're 33 minutes in and your Sven is already 6 slotted, but your Sven is not going to scale anymore. Like, he's kind of reaching his peak at the moment.
Yeah, but the nice thing that they do have is, even though he's reaching his peak, they have the Wombo combo, which always is gonna, that scales infinitely, because if he lands 3 hero, 1 team fight, it's like, oh my god, but if he lands a 5-man vacuum and if they get the follow-up with stuns, that's like, those are those situations where you just lose the game because of one small misstep.
Well, they put their Aegis Immortal back into the hands of the Sven.
Yep.
So he still leaves the Dom back at base.
Yep. He's got Boot to Travel now too, which, although his attack speed gets slowed down a bit, he did eat the Moon Shard to make up for that. And now bots are actually quite nice with Warcrack, because now he's gonna have that faster movement speed to catch up to people, especially the Death Prophet, who isn't really that speedy when he has treads. He doesn't need to, the Darkseer doesn't need to emphasize so much on surging the Sven in every single situation now.
Takes away Pasha's strength too, of like the ability to control the side lanes without any real contest.
Yeah.
Like the Timbersaw, as you can see, clears through waves so quickly that his split push is so good, but the Sven obviously just as good, if not better.
Yeah, and then once the Lion actually has like a Blink Dagger, probably we can see him go for setups in like, alone onto the Timbersaw and just having the Boots of Travel come in with the Sven and clear him out.
Got far Pasha, just like he just took care of that wave, and the wave's at the tier 3 tower already. That's why I don't want to say like this game could easily be over. Like, AF, you take out the bottom lane, that's terrific, but the push speed of F5 is still quite big, and if they have exorcism available from BZZ, then your ability to actually go high ground is quite good for F5, but only if you can catch AF outside the base. Now, it's up to Pasha, the Hex, they back it back in, they look for the extra stun, they're going to get it too, the kick flies in, actually hits on Madara, the Yulsa trying to buy time so he can blink away, but it is not enough time. They'll hit the ground, and that is going to be the Timber down for 50 seconds. The side lanes are pushed in, at least the bottom lane's pushed in, but that's all.
Monster kill. I love it.
It did sound kind of weird.
It like echoed a bit for me.
It did for me as well.
Yeah, and now 4-Staff finished up for Skylark. He's slowly building up like little items now after his Blink Dagger and his Guardian Greaves. But it's gonna be really important in these team fights for Finem just to have good vision, because if they can spot out that Oracle or the Air Spirit in the back line, it can change the entire navigation of the fight.
F5's coming back. They're looking to find Timber's up in 8 seconds time. He can BT himself to the front lines. For now, Observer Ward, it's right there. Illidan would love to get rid of that before this fight begins, and maybe next time now, he'll get the Hex over on Illidan. They cannot allow this Faceless Void to die. They need his Chrono with a back. Ends up actually catching more Radiant than Dire, as they caught him inside the Chronosphere, and now Madara, he can go ham, looking for BZZ, doesn't care about the X's, and we'll just go on Madara cam with the stun. BZZ, 3 hits is all it takes to get the kill. Turns to Illidan, the timer from Illidan, it may be enough. Can he bring down Madara? Yes, he can, but it's still only the Aegis to the Immortal. So he'll be back to life in just a jiffy, and then in fact blinks himself away down the bottom lane, realizing the next target is going to be Yol. He'll does not have his Chronosphere available, so they have to do this the old-fashioned way with fists right now, looking for a target. Spartan will be it. Disruption creates more space, not to mention the Timbersaw slowed down by that Purge, but they get through Spartan. Illidan still a long time till that Chrono's up, 1 second till he can jump, and it was too long. The silence from Thug was there at the perfect time. And now AF can look to go and assault another lane of Frax. It'll be up to Pasha to hold the lines, but with those Blink Daggers available, he's got to be careful.
Yeah, this Death Prophet's just starting to super far behind, and I think...
Oh, he got stunned! Halfway through the 10. I love how they stun him and they don't even care. That they finish off the tower. The BKBs come off from this vent. He can turn and attack a little bit. Pasha, he's only got 5 reactive armor charges up at the moment. So he doesn't look that strong, but AF give him the respect and they'll back out after taking out the tower.
Yeah, Finem showing a lot more signs of life after that early game, showing a lot more teamwork, a lot more synergy, a lot more cohesiveness between the entire lineup. But I don't want to harp on it too much, but I do feel like this pipe may be hurting the Death Prophet just a bit. He doesn't have the Eul Scepter, he doesn't have his own way of saving himself.
Well, he's between like 2 different items right now.
Yeah. And he's got all these like mid-game items. He's even going back for a Eul's now after picking up the Soul Booster, but that's definitely not the thing that's like losing them the game. It's just like small mistakes like the Chronosphere whiff, and then the last Chronosphere, he actually gets his the Darkseer cleverly vacuums a couple people into the enemy's Chrono.
I think he also forced off one of his own teammates out of the Chrono, if my eyes didn't deceive me.
You can't force people out of Chrono.
As in like when the Chrono was happening, okay. He backs 2 of F5 in and pushes his teammate out. Okay, it's another one of those things I want to look at closely. I don't know if my eyes kept up with it fast enough, but it looked damn sweet.
Yeah, the timing on that is really difficult. You have to do it like literally as the Chrono is being casted for that situation. But still. That would be really impressive if he did do so. And Madara, like you were mentioning, 6 slotted at the 30-something minute mark, 38 minutes he is now. Absolutely 6 slotted. Eventually he can replace the Echo Saber.
Yeah, with something. With anything.
Yeah. He still has the Dominator back at base, so maybe the Satanic eventually, but...
He could do Satanic, sure. That's actually, yeah. I'm thinking like what's gonna be better for him? Like what's he really scared of? Like, is he actually scared of the Timbersaw? Because if not, would just straight strength be the way to go?
Yeah, I think they're kind of just like ignoring the Timber in these fights. They're just kind of running around him in circles. He's doing a lot of damage, but he's not able to do enough to burst through the Sven just yet.
Well, let the split push begin. F5. It's been a while since we've seen them being able to dictate any level of engagement. They just don't have... Also, not having a Blink Dagger over on Illidan means he can't just jump and get that perfect chrono. He burnt like 4 Diffusal Blade charges.
Illidan's far from his team right now.
Quick jump, but no, he actually started moving backwards towards maybe next time. The kick flies in, but AF saw it coming. So they bail out of it. Illidan, where's the stun? You got the end. Will it be enough to keep him alive? Turns for the Chronosphere, catching up the Sven. The Exorcism is up, but it's not hitting any heroes inside the Chronosphere just yet. Now Sven turns BDB! Has the Yule Scepter. It buys him more time, but will it be enough? He's smacked down. 2 hero kills coming the way of Madara. The Timbersaw comes back in, they find a revenge, and now F5. They have a chance, even without 2 of their big cores. It's up to the Timbersaw to do the work. It's up to Pasha, chasing after maybe next time. Yule's up, waits, pulls him in, and then the Chakra to find the last kill. No, Oracle will burst damage it down. 3 heroes lost for AF, and for the first time we feel the weight of Pasha being pulled in this fight of F5.
Yeah, him and Earth.
Oh, he even finds Skylark. Skylark doesn't have his TP available, his Blink Dagger available, so he has to just quickly jump himself out. Yule Scepter up. That's again down for Pasha, trying to just slice him up, and he's going to be able to do it.
That was so well played by Pasha. He's owning right now. He's carrying his team on his back.
Is he trying to force buybacks? Because right now Sven's the only one that can. Thug's pushing in the top lane. They're actually assaulting the mid lane. Unfortunately, the 3 heroes that remain are shite at killing off tier 3 towers.
Yeah, but they have to be super happy with that. That was a big win. They even have the Aghanims now going to be finished up on the Timbersaw soon, and that's where a point where Finem can't really ignore him. So the fight looks like it was going to go absolutely terrible for Fantastic.Five, but
they got to bail out.
Ends up being pretty good.
The creep wave is going to finish the job over on the tower. Actually gets pulled off when the tower's at 6 HP. Thug comes back in. The problem is it's Yol, but the problem can be repaired thanks to RMN. They just boulder him away. And then TP out. Pasha won't be so lucky. Caught inside the Dream Coil. Tries to chain himself out. At least gets out of range of the line in tail. He's got Timber chain up, but he can't stay alive long enough. 52 seconds now on the sideline. That tier 3 tower remains alive on 6 HP. And they look for more. They actually managed to catch up to RMN. That Oracle Hex, he won't get to the regeneration rune in time. And now there's no Oracle. He does not have buyback. Timbersaw does because he didn't buy up the Aghanim Scepter.
I was wondering how Timber took so much damage there, but it was of course, like we mentioned, the Soul Catcher, the Veil, and then the Finger. So 900 damage from Finger. The Oracle actually hits his own teammate for 500 damage with Purifying Flames there too. And then he gets hit by Waning Rip for 400 damage, so that was a little bit funny. Just looked like a pretty weird interaction when you're not used to seeing Soul Catcher too often.
Madara's looking to fight again. He's got a full Satanic now complete as he comes in. Chronosphere catching out the Sven. They spear his Siphon. They turn on the Exorcism, but the back, the wall hits 3 in, and look for Madara to start cleaving through them all. BZZ, you'll actually have to put him inside the disruption. He'll come back out again. The damage is there. Madara! Rip him through him. Wants to move on to Pasha. Storm Bolt up in 2 seconds time. They push him away, however. Remember, objective-based gaming. They just need to claim both lanes of Rack so AF can move through into this winners bracket final. Of course, it's a full best of 3 they've got to go through, but being 1 game up is going to help. Turning back over towards Illidan, there's just Storm Bolt. Illidan's gone, and that should actually be the game. Pasha is no real way to escape from this. Even with his Yule Scepter up, he can't really chain away, not while the Dream Coil holds him in position, and they drag him in. There's a little bit of a saving grace from RMN, but Pasha, Blink, avoids the Storm Bolt. He needs to heal up a little bit inside the base. It will be enough for him to survive, but he's got no friends right now. Everyone from F5 apart from him is dead. The Earth Spirit gets to come back to life. But the problem is he's losing his home on the top lane. Thug's a little too deep, but all they're doing is just creating space for Madara to finish the objective. And with the Finger of Death, say goodbye to your Earth Spirit. Timbersaw being drained out too. I'm waiting for Madara to finally just finish the job on the heroes. But he gets Megas up for AF.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there is no more hope here, and there it is, GG. F5 will admit defeat here in game number 1. of our winners bracket semi-final 2 for the TI6 qualifiers. Madara, the shoulders, they are strong enough to carry.
We got our kill predictions right. We did something. It was not a 60-minute game though, it was 40.
We only just made that one.
Only just made
By one, we...
But yeah,
Two.
just, I mean, Madara, have to give him the MVP. Snatching that Aegis,
Yeah, that play.
that actually, like, won them the game. It's, of course, there was a lot of other, like, small things that just built up from that, but that play pretty much just secured them a chance to be able to win the game. Then a couple mistakes coming out from Fantastic.Five.